Kevin, I got to tell you, buddy, when you need to hire somebody, it's overwhelming to start.
It's overwhelming because people, I respect it. I love their confidence, but they're like, I'm the best in the game. And I appreciate you putting yourself out there. And hey, keep that confidence.
That's right. But it's also difficult to sift through that many people.
Yep.
Sifting through that many people. Well, the future of hiring looks much brighter because ZipRecruiter's latest tools and features help speed up finding the right people for your roles. So you save valuable time. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio.
Yeah, what's really nice about it is that you don't have to jump through any hoops because if you see a candidate that you like and you're interested in, you can unlock their information instantly, which is, I don't want to wait.
Exactly. The people are out there for you.
That's great.
320,000 resumes are uploaded, monthly, which means how could you sift through that? Well, you got to use ZipRecruiter. That's how you do it.
Use ZipRecruiter and save time hiring. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio right now, you can try it for free.
Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
And my name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad. And on today's episode, Kevin's going to tell us all about he has a bit of a crusty ending to an otherwise cheesy day.
Just so you know, this has nothing to do with the bathroom. And on this
You'll have to tune in to find out.
And on this episode, Evan decides to donate his time. And only his time. Cheers.
Cheers.
First, let's get it out of the way. Let's just do it. Thank you to everybody who came to the show.
Yes, thank you
really,
guys.
really appreciate
Whoever
it.
came to the show, thank you. And if you couldn't make it to the show, clips and show content coming soon.
Yes.
I cannot define soon.
What he's trying to say is, because some people don't know, this show was filmed, and I know a lot of you DM'd us and said I would pay for the streaming of this, and we appreciate that. But we are going to edit this and have it on our YouTube channel in the future, and we wanted everybody to kind of watch it there, have it for you. So we're working on that right now, and just stay tuned. So especially if you're in a town that like either you missed us last time we were on tour, or we haven't visited your town yet, stay tuned because we are going to give you the show, and then when we have that show out there, maybe we'll start working on another hour, and then we'll get back on the road, and you guys can see. We can do it. You can see, they can do it.
Live and in person.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It's a good show. Back to school show. Raising money for donors. Choose. Did you have anybody from your kid's school there?
Not employed by the school, but lots of PTA members of the school and wives and husbands were there to witness the dumb, whether or not it was in silent or out loud, but they were there.
It was very funny because there was somebody there from your school that was on the PTA that I talked to after the show. Mm-hmm. And like, I think 3 of these moms were all on the PTA, but I think one of them was the president before.
Yeah.
But one of them, Tara, she used to be the president. Everybody was like, Tara here was dying during your PTA then. I do a little rant about the PTA. And I think somebody did ask me, they were like, is that true? And I was like, you think I would have wrote that if it was fake?
Yeah.
That was too detailed.
It's way too detailed. The same reason when people are like, do you guys really have children? What kind of research are we doing about the frustrations of owning children, making an entire content channel about owning children without having kids?
There was some content creators who got busted a few years back that didn't have children.
That were talking about having kids and everything?
Like their whole channel was like
that's
being a dad or something. And I think somebody...
It's a weird hill to literally die on.
I think at least one of them I can say got caught because probably more than one, but at least one person was watching their videos going, your house isn't messy enough.
Right.
And they were like, this looks like a fabricated mess. This looks like you just threw that stuff on the floor. It's not... In between those cushions looks clean is what I'm saying.
There's no way there's food in that couch.
They got busted. They got busted.
Busted cold. Yeah, bud. I mean, what are we like? A couple weeks into school now. Kids are adjusting. Kids love their teachers. That's great. Mm-hmm. We already kind of have run into. It's funny. My son now doing 5th grade this year, it's like it's not really homework because it's all done on these school Chromebooks that they are issued. Mm-hmm. And we ran into the
that's still homework. Why is it not homework?
Well, what I'm saying is like you can they get their assignments in class and then they can work on them in class, and then they hit like submit, so it like gets sent to the teacher, right? And the first couple days come back of like reports of like the grading of the homework come back, and it's like the common theme, mm-hmm. which was the common theme from last year a lot of times with writing assignments. I think a lot of kids as well. It's like, I need more detail.
Oh, sure.
You know, I want like you to really fill out the detail of this story. Whereas like it's, you know, elementary school kids are like, great, I did the basic thing. I'm done. And then he's been coming home and he's like, I don't have any homework today. I finished it in class. And you're like, really, again? And he's like, yeah. And then you get it back and it's like, yeah, this is good, but not fully completed. I'd like more detail, more information to really outline your point. And so now we had to have a conversation with him. Okay, you cannot submit it until we read it.
Yeah.
So if you finish it in class, that's great. Bring it home. We'll go over it together and then determine whether or not you can submit it. He didn't like that.
That's very funny. And it's so true. Kids... And it's like not their fault. It is 100% a skill they have to learn.
Yeah.
Of adding details, because a lot of times, you know, you're just in everyday life, like what happened at school, and you're just like they'll omit. Sometimes they'll just omit the flavor, right? They'll just they won't be like, well, it was a really fun day. We were all playing around, and we were actually playing this new game. It's not relevant to the story, but I just want to say we were playing this new game. It was like, instead of 7-Up, it was 8-Up, and it was like a different variation. It was like really fun. Anyway, later we did, like, the kids will just go like, we're like, how was school? And they're like, it was good. Jeremy cried a lot. And you're like, oh, why did Jeremy cry? The bone was sticking out. And you're like, I need more detail.
Well, I mean, I did the same thing as a kid. It's like
the thing all kids do.
The thing you don't really want to do.
For sure. It's worse with the thing you want to do, because I was going to make a bad example about kids that are like that if they described a movie, but that's not true. Kids will tell you every scene of a movie.
Because they loved it.
They'll
tell you all about the over too many details about the game that they played because they had a great time doing it. But when they had to like do a report on elephants and all about where they live and their habitat and blah blah, it's like I don't know. They're gray and they're afraid of mice and they live in Africa. It's like more than that, please. You know, it's just like I want to learn all about elephants, but it's like you have to get turned on by the idea of whatever the subject it is. And
you think they should be turned on by elephants?
You know what I mean? Get excited.
That's what you said.
Yeah, you can.
Are they afraid?
Do with that what you may.
Are they afraid of mice?
You know, I saw an episode of Mythbusters where they took a little pile of dung and shaped it like a dome and put a little white mouse in there, and then went to, I think it was Africa, and they're wild elephants, and they were like kind of, you know, hung out where they were like in the area, and they waited for one to be like walking towards it where they were, and they just like rolled this thing over, and a little white mouse ran away, and the elephant looked down, hesitated, and like walked away. And they did it like a couple times, and it was the same result every time. And they were like, that's insane. That it was, I don't know if it was afraid, but it definitely was like, gave the elephant pause and adjusted its course and like walked around it. Like, I don't know.
What's
like,
funny is elephants are really smart. So
I don't
know that it was scared of mice as much as they were just like, that thing made a house out of poop. I don't want to know what that is.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, how can you totally replicate a natural scenario where it would see the mouse? So they're doing the best they can, but they kind of just made it.
No, I wasn't judging. I was just. But it was like the elephants would think.
I think maybe the elephants are like, if that thing runs up my nose, ugh.
I hope I can sneeze.
That's going to be a problem. Yeah, not again.
It's funny. I had the similar issue with homework though that you did this week. It was rusty. We're all a little rusty because my son was doing his homework. And it was good. It happened early. We're still in it was like the first full week that he really had homework. And my wife was doing a lot of the homework checking last week. So I was like, all right, let's do this. And he goes, my homework's done. And it's funny because he's in first grade. So he's not trying to be a sneak, but he is like, similar to your son and my kids and most kids being like, I have to tell you a story. I'll give you as little details as possible.
Yeah.
You can't say I didn't do it. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And he'll just go like, the rule is they do their homework, they read for 20 minutes, then they can have screens for about an hour, and then we shut it down. And so he's just excited to get to the screens.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, Dad, I'm done. And I was like, did you read for 20 minutes? Yeah, I read it for 20 minutes. I read for 20 minutes first. And then he like grabbed the iPad and I was like, where's your homework? And he's like, over there. I was like, you didn't even put it away. And he like, and then he goes and he grabs it and he puts it in the folder, closes the folder, walks away, picks up the iPad, sits down. I go, no. You put it in the folder. And he's like, yeah. I was like, where does the folder go? And then he like comes back over, grabs the folder, put it in his backpack, starts to walk away. I go, before you sit back down, where do you think the backpack goes? And he's like, oh my God, this guy.
Yeah.
Do you want me to walk it to school now?
Yeah.
And then he hangs it up. And then I go, I should probably check that homework. Mm-hmm. So I take everything out. I left it hung up. I take it out and I look and I was like, oh yeah, these are all wrong. And he was like, what? And I was like, turn it off. Get over here. Come on. I pulled up a chair and sat down. I was like, you're in first grade. You're learning. This is all like very new. At least for like your son and my daughter. They're learning new stuff, but it's a branch off of something else that they already learned. I'm like, all right, you should, let's sit down. And it was funny because he fell for a trap that I was like, I guess I won't say it's unfair. It's like, it's a following directions trap. So like, and anybody who has a first grader, I'm sure knows this is probably the same homework everywhere, where it's like, what's it called? Problem number 1, it's already done for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the example.
The example. And it was like 8 dots. And it was like circle 5 dots and then make a number bond. So 5 and 3 dash to 8.
Yeah.
And it was like the 5 was over here. 5 dots were over here. 3 dots were over there. The 5 was already circled. Mm-hmm. And then they made a number bond, 5, 3, and 8. All the other problems were a blob of dots and another blob of dots. And then all of them, blob of dots, other dots. And the direction said circle 5 dots. Yep. And then make a number bond. He's just circling all the blobs that were on their own. Which I was like, maybe I'm a little bit of a baby that I think this is a little unfair to do to a kid. But I was like, no, he is supposed to read the directions. And I was like, read the directions. He's like, 5. And I was like, so what did you do wrong? He's like, no, I circled them. I was like, okay. We're going to be here for a while. I got to stop being a lazy dad here. And
yeah, I know. I know. It's like you have to like, that's the biggest thing with my kids a lot, especially my son. It's like, read the directions. My daughter's starting to do that too. She's starting like, I don't get this. Can you help me with this? I don't understand it. I'm like, yeah, of course. Read the directions. She reads it. Oh, it's like, yeah, you got to read the directions. Mm-hmm. Like it starts early. Just read the directions and read them.
Yeah.
If you don't understand the directions, read them again.
Yeah.
And it's like anything that they don't like anything doing it again. They don't like revisiting something. They don't like, and that was been the biggest thing with my son the last couple of years, which was like, he has, he has ADHD and like, so it's testing is difficult where he's like easily distracted or easily second guessing himself or, that kind of thing. And it's like, doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish the test. Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't be discouraged by that, including as soon as you finish the test, go back over the test. Read the question again. Did I do what it said? Yes, I did. And like you'll catch something, you'll catch something, either a mistake or something that you think like, oh, maybe this could be better or whatever. And it's like it's almost like more than getting the problem right, which if you are doing your homework constantly and listening, that's not the hard part is not necessarily getting it right. The hard part is like being diligent enough to go through it, read the directions, understand the directions, do exactly what it says, and then double check all your work. That's hard to like implement that sort of behavior with kids, which I say, I don't blame my son. He's like, I don't have any homework I did in class, which is like, yeah, you did the absolute minimal effort so that you could come home and have the rest of the day free, which is like, I totally understand that that's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it's you get an hour on screens, but that's also like then play and build Lego or whatever that he would rather be doing. Yeah. It's like right, but like if you blow through what you're supposed to be doing in an absolute minimal effort, that's what your grade's going to show.
Yeah,
and it's like and then that'll be learned behavior. Just do the minimal effort and then I'm done. I was like, that's not what your teacher is looking for. Your teacher is looking for like full effort. Show your effort. And I think that's a difficult thing to get into kids. I mean, and like I was the same way, you know, it's just like I don't want to do this. I'm going to do exactly what it says to do, and then I know I'm allowed to be done.
Yeah. I agree, and I mean, I always struggled specifically with math, but just tapping instead of writing out the work. But I did learn how to do the things and took the time to learn them. Having said that, I don't think one time I ever finished a test and went back over it. I was like, that's done, and it's up to God now. A test? First of all, you think I'm finishing a test with time to spare? I'm sweating at that clock.
I would. Here's the thing. I would when I like really studied and knew that I really did learn the content or whatever that we're supposed to be learning. When I really did know it, then it was like, because it was like when you studied just enough, the questions are like, oh, I think I remember that. Oh, I kind of remember that. I know this one. And I would do the thing, like I would go down the list and be like, only answer the ones that you know, absolutely know first, so that you can spend time thinking about the other ones. Yeah. But then like that would take too long. And then by the time class is almost over, it's like I'm rushing to finish and I left one of them blank.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but when I really, really did study and I knew it really, really well, then yeah, I could just write it all the answers in a row and then go over and check and be like, yeah, I think that's right, you know?
No. So what I did, if I didn't know it, I did that. Get the ones you did right, get those, then go and just stare at the other ones till the time runs out. That's what you do when you do minimal effort, which is what I did a lot. It's kind of my fault. The problem is there was a TV on in my brain when they were teaching me this.
100%.
And it was a really good show. So I know I'd seen the episode before, but I was like, I didn't want to miss this. And the teacher was talking, and then he was like, turn the page. And I was like, wait, that's 10 pages later. I've not been paying attention. And when I did know what I was talking about or doing a test on, then I still wouldn't go back because I would be like,
I knew it.
I know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
George Washington. They're like, this is a math problem. Anyway, I didn't go far in college. So
same girl, same. But I guess what I'm also saying is like I completely identify with what our kids are doing and feeling, like how my son feels about this kind of stuff. And so it's like, at least I can speak to that.
Yeah, I can speak to that. I just thought it was funny for me this week. I see what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny for me this week because I narrowly avoided a dumb dad moment there because it was definitely, I didn't want to check his homework. I just wanted to like, can I just, whatever I was doing, could have been on my phone, could have been cleaning the house. It's really anyone's guess.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to be sitting here with this. And then once you do it, you're like, this isn't so bad.
I know. It's just like it really is like the applied effort, you know, like, and
I seemed like such a dick dad though, because I was like, he was sitting down, he's already on his iPad while I was like, let me just look these over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, where's that big eraser?
Back it up.
That's like the whole thing is the size of like a double mint.
Because I'm going to go through the entire thing.
I was
on the
just
end
like
of your pencil
the
here.
whole thing, and he came over. And he was like, "What are you doing?" Like he didn't get upset, but he was like, "What is happening?" And I went, "Oh wait, hold on, that one's right by accident."
Yeah.
And I erased it, and I explained to him why it was by accident.
Yeah.
That one was clumped 5.
That's hilarious. I think about this often when it comes to stuff like this. Is that sometimes it's like you need to be ready to hear it or in the right moment to hear it. When I was like a sophomore in high school, my history teacher, Mr. McGuire, was
shout out. Thanks for listening.
Shout out.
Matty McGuire.
He was a young dude. You know, he was like second year teaching or first year teaching, and had great rapport with him. Like had the same kind of sense of humor and stuff. You know, he liked me. Mm-hmm. And
what grade was this?
Sophomore year, I think.
Wow. So he's like 70 now.
He's yes, I don't know. I mean, he's older. He's definitely older, which is wild to think
Thanks
about.
for listening.
But he was probably like 23 or 24, you know, or maybe younger. I don't even know. 22, 23, 24. And you know, it's like I think I was like doing okay with like a lot of things I did in class. It was like a B, all right, I'll take a B, you know, that kind of thing. And it was like a couple of those kind of tests in a row or whatever. And I think he was a history teacher. And he like one day was like having a great rapport, class is going well and everything. He's like, hey, stick around for after class. And he sat me down. And he's like, hey man, I think you're such a talented kid. You're really funny. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he's like, yeah. Is this the best you can really do? And I was like, and he's like, because I think you can do better than this. I think when you know the stuff and you're engaged in class, you really do understand things. The way you put perspective on things, it like really helps, and it helps other kids too, like with the way you explain things. But I also think that sometimes you kind of just, maybe don't fully apply yourself into doing some of this kind of stuff. And from then on, it was like motivational, but also like kind of challenging me. He's like, challenge yourself to like really look over it, really learn it, Yeah. And that way you can be a little bit more of a leader in the classroom. I still want the rapport with you, but you can be more of a leader in the classroom, and people will, because like I see the other kids around you, and like he sat me down and was like, look, bro, I don't think this is as good as you can do. Yeah. And it was just like the person that was younger and cool. He was like definitely one of the cool teachers. Sitting me down and telling me that was like absolute gut check, And I think about that to this day. Like when I think about maybe is that the best I can do at something, or when I'm talking to my son about like that kind of stuff, like that conversation comes back to me like all the time. Yeah. And I 100% in hindsight, it wasn't like I left thinking like, oh, what a jerk. I thought like, man, maybe he's right. Like I really in that moment heard it. And I think about that conversation often. It was just one of those moments in life where everything aligned, and I was really hearing him. Right. And I wasn't like I was a straight A student after that, because school was hard. But it definitely made me rethink about how, just one of those people, influential people in your life, was one of those teachers that like was like, man, I was glad he was in my life in that moment.
That's great.
It really helped.
What did you do a month later when you were like, I forgot my book, and you ran back to the class and you heard him be like, I think you're a great kid. I think you're funny. I think everybody likes you in class. Yeah. This is really the best you can do.
That's like he
no, Evan, you don't understand. It's not what it looks like. I don't have a prepared speech.
Speaking of narrowly getting away from dumb dad moments, I know we definitely have a couple dumb dad moments, so why don't we get into those?
Let's get into them.
My dumb dad moment, I have like a little mini one that I think you'll appreciate, and then I have a real dumb dad moment
I'll let you know.
that was really stupid. My dumb dad moments are, both of them are kind of just brought to you by paying attention to the details.
Or not.
Or lack thereof. First one, quick one. It was like Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday this week. My wife was working from home one of the days, and she's like, you're not going to believe this. There is the most gigantic spider web across where the front steps. So like how our house is, like our front door, and then we don't really have, it's not a porch. What would you call that? It's like a threshold. I don't know. It's like
a landing.
It's like 7 or 8 feet of just thin hallway cement that's covered to get to the front door. You go up a couple steps, and then like 6 feet later is my front door, I guess. So there's a little bit of a, walkway. At the end of the walkway above the stairs was like this 3 foot wide, like huge spider web that was just the right height for my face. And she was telling me, because she was like, this is really cool. There's a huge spider right in the middle of it, and it's a huge web, but you guys are going to have to watch out because you'll probably walk right through it. And I was like, whoa. And we all went out and looked at it and was like, that's so cool. We were like getting up kind of close, like looking at this.
Well, was it
web.
An orb weaver?
It could have been.
They're the ones who make the pretty webs.
Yeah. I think it was probably, yeah. My son and I are also like kind of continuously, slowly but surely reading Charlotte's Web. And I was like, man, why didn't she write terrific? Or, like we were kind of joking around about that. And we all left for school, and we like ducked, like crouching underneath the spider web, and like leaving it be as we left. And then what did I do when I came home? Walked right through that thing. Walked right through it.
And you have really curly hair.
Yeah.
So
I gathered it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did it, I was like
a hairbrush.
Yeah. As soon as I did it, I was like, oh my God, you're so dumb. Oh my God. And I turned around, and thankfully,
you saw the spider.
I saw the spider.
That's great.
Waving in the wind as this beautiful web was just absolutely just gathered in pieces, and strings of it were just like flowing in the wind. But if I hadn't seen the spider, my whole day would have been ruined. Any little itchy thing, would have been like, it would have been the
your curls.
Yeah, it would have been absolutely over.
Yeah.
So that was the first one. Then I was just like, you stupid idiot.
That's awful.
Awful. The second one happened about an hour ago. Great. So our buddy Will, who shot our live show for us, we gave him our hard drives so he could dump all the footage onto it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, "Hey, come over Friday. I'll be around in the morning." And I was like, "Great." And they are also having a big garage sale, and they like reached out to all of their friends, including us and everybody, that were like, "Hey, we're having a huge garage sale. If you guys want to get rid of stuff or whatever, like by all means, we're going to put it everywhere. We can all kind of work together on this thing, but we are having a huge garage sale." So we've been kind of like, we do random donations, like maybe every month, where we like run to donate stuff that the kids don't want anymore, or like clothes that don't fit, like that kind of thing. It's kind of a regular routine for us. But we have, my in-laws also have like a lot of stuff that like china that they don't want anymore, and stuff that's like, I don't know if we really want to just like donate this, or if it could go to a better cause of like, maybe they could use it at the garage sale. Maybe somebody actually would really want this kind of stuff, like that kind of thing.
Sure.
So they did a little bit of research for like consignment. They were like, no, they wanted some of it, but not some of it. And so they thought, okay, well, why don't we just bring a couple boxes of it over to the, we can donate it to the garage sale cause, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta go because I have to come home and film an audition and then go to Kevin's and everything. So I gotta go now. And my wife's like, well, you should bring over the donation stuff. And I was like, okay. So we run into the garage. We get these boxes, the big boxes of stuff. I shove it in the car. I go to Will's house. He comes out and he's like, hey man, we immediately start talking about the show. And he's like, here's your stuff. I think you're gonna really like the footage. I think it looks great. And then I'm playing in a guillotine league, fantasy football league with him this year, so we started talking about that. Sure. And then I'm like, "Thanks, bud. We'll talk soon. I'll let you know if you have any questions." He's like, "Let me know if you have any questions about the camera codecs and how it'll be sourced for coloring." And I'm like, "No problem, dude. I'll see you later." And then halfway back to my house, I was like, "Those boxes are still in my car."
Yeah.
You stupid idiot.
Did you turn around?
No, because I had to go home and film an audition and then come here. And I was like, the time to give them to him was when I was standing in front of him.
Talking about football.
Just a guy. Just like, yeah.
Did your wife also remind you when to shower? Jesus, Evan.
The worst part is like, I know, and I'm like, the knee-jerk reaction is to be like, God, and turn around. But like, I literally couldn't. Like, the rest of the schedule throughout the morning, I could not.
Yeah.
It was like, I have to go home and do this stuff. Like, it's due.
Yeah.
So like, which means I had to just drive home knowing I was going to have to go inside and tell my wife, like, guess what I didn't do? Mm-hmm. The simplest thing. Mm-hmm. Hey, I brought this stuff for you. You gave me something. I'm going to give you something. I failed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Trade. That's how we used to do things before money was invented.
So now we're just driving around with this stuff in the car.
It's going to be there for so long.
My wife's like, how'd it go? And I was like, it went okay. Because I knew I then had to tell her. And the like, you tell your wife something like that and you're like, I forgot to give him the stuff. And she's just like, okay. Mm-hmm. Like, that's her response.
Yeah.
Which is, I always think, like, she must think, do you just flash back to saying, I do? Is that what it is? Like, this is what you're working with.
Mm-hmm. It's called a depreciating asset. Capital ASS.
Oh, that's well played. So there you go, man. Just Forgetful Jones. Just only my thing. Not paying attention to life or actual responsibilities or prioritizing lists and things. Just coasting through.
Hashtag getting by.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Good God. Sorry about that. Well, if I ever have a garage sale, I won't. But if I do, I'll let you know so you don't give me anything.
Yeah. Under effort.
Thank you. My dumb dad moment was brought to you by just a 180. Just a 180.
Classic 180. You love those. You love to see them.
So last night was our first restaurant night at the school.
Hey-o.
Chuck E. Cheese. That was all. I had a big PTA day yesterday.
Shout out Chuck E. Cheese. I think they've done a nice job flipping everything.
Mm-hmm. They've done a great job.
Yeah.
And I had a nightmare situation. I don't know if I probably didn't because it wasn't a story at the time. But like I was having a nightmare of a time setting up the fundraiser with them.
Shout out Chuck E. Cheese.
No, they were fine. I requested it and something went wrong with the date that we originally did. So I was like, all right, let's push it a week later. But now it's like really close for comfort. So I submitted the paperwork and Chuck E. Cheese got back to me and they're like, sorry, you can't submit for a fundraiser outside of inside of 3 weeks of the event. Fair. So I emailed back and I went, totally. No judgment. I get you got your rules and your stuff. But like, are you available?
Yeah. Could you be now, please?
Well, I was just like, because it's the corporate office that I'm emailing. I'm not emailing this direct store.
Yeah, right.
So I was just kind of like, yeah, look, I won't be a recurring thing when we do this again. And I've done fundraisers with you guys and you're great. And I'm not asking for any special treatment, but like, is there a way? And then they were basically like, you can contact the store. And I was like,
are they franchised?
I don't know. I don't know how all that works. It must be, but I went to Chuck E. Cheese that day. This is like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Can I speak to the manager?
Yeah.
Which is fun to do now that you're like a goofy dad, because everybody's like, I'm gonna pretend to be stocking the spoons while this guy's talking. I want to hear what this is about. You know, they get excited when you walk in the door. It's the first thing you say. They're like, this guy's been sitting on something for at least a day because we just opened. So something happened last night
yeah.
It's been his whole identity for 36 hours. No, it's just a PTA thing. But they were hoping I was going to unload about something. And, long story short, they acquiesced and they let us do the event. The only reason I bring that up is because like today was a big day of Chuck E. Cheese for me because the day came and then I thought this is going to be a big dumb dad moment. Yeah. I went, when you do it online, you get emails. Mm-hmm. Your event's coming up. Don't forget to promote it. Your event's coming up. Your event's tomorrow. They give you flyers. Luckily, I stayed on top of all that and I sent out messages and flyers. But like, it's the day of. And I went, I haven't heard anything from anyone about this.
Right.
At all.
I'm just going to assume it's happening.
I've been getting every parent a flyer and messages. And well,
we're rolling in there hoping we're getting a percentage of what's going to happen.
So I was like, this could be a very big dumb dad moment. And I called and I got on the phone with them and I was like, do I have an event tonight? And she was like, yeah.
Pretty sure I do, but I'm not really sure that I do.
She's like, yeah, from 3 to 9, right? And I was like, okay, nobody's reached out to me. And it's nobody's fault because I went in person and filled out like a piece of paper. It was very like old school, like no clicking boxes online. So it was an anxious day because then I had to go to the school with Chuck E. Cheese. And that was a whole thing we've done it multiple times. So when you do a fundraiser at Chuck E. Cheese, it's an option that he comes to the school on the day.
Really?
Yeah. So he comes to the school. And what we did in the past was we'd go classroom to classroom and we cut out one for each classroom, which took a little work because they give us like sheets and sheets of stickers. And each sticker says like 10 free points, which is like 10 free games.
Yeah.
So we would cut them out for every number of classrooms, label them which teacher. So then when Chucky shows up, we go classroom to classroom and we walk into a classroom. We're like, here, Mr. Berger, here's enough stickers for each of your students.
Sure.
But the teachers nixed that this year or last year because they're like, you're interrupting aggressively, instructional time. Because like we're walking in and getting these kids
riled up.
Stoked.
He's here
for Chuck E. Cheese.
We got points.
Games and pizza and fountain soda that you can fill up yourself. So they're always.
You're not going to bed on time.
They're excited. And it's a little bit of like Debbie Downer, but it's also a little bit like, I can see your point. Because you got to get them back on track of being like, guys, fractions.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, the Chuck E. Cheese, we're clocked out for the day. But so what we do was, I had him go around the school. I ran this by the principal, and I was like, this is my plan because you don't want him in the classroom. I don't really know what to do with him.
He's going to bang on the glass from the outside.
Yeah. And just like he's being dragged away. Put my hand over his mouth, pull him away. Kids are like, ah.
Oh, the White Claw.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Chucky. And then just kill him. There's only 1 mouse in this town. And so we came up with the idea is like when the bell rings, we have 3 exits at our school of where kids come out of. So I was like, how about I start at one of the exits, walk around the outside of the school, and go back in the last exit. So we'll pass by most of the students. And then we'll come in and we'll see the after school program kids, say hi to them, remind them all about Chuck E. Cheese. Prince was like, great idea. I was like, I think it's a great idea too. It is a good idea. It was a bad idea. It was a really, really bad idea. So luckily Chucky comes with a cast member, an employee.
Uh-huh.
Basically protection.
Yeah.
For Chucky because he can't see so well.
Correct.
Because he's old. It's not a costume. I mean, the man's like 75 years old. So it's just to help him with steps. He's older.
Can't see well because he's sweating so much in this thing.
He has cataracts or mouserax. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Wink, wink. Keep that one. That's forever. And
thanks for tuning in to the Dumb Dad podcast.
So we walk around the school and just like every kid is now like already jazzed school's out.
Yeah.
Now they're more jazzed that there's a famous mouse walking the premises. I am stiff arming kids, because understandably they're like, don't touch him, like no hugs, definitely high fives. But once that starts, it doesn't end. Then everybody's like, then he's just surrounded by children with hands in his face. So like, just not touch. And I was like, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Now I'm just like, stop. I'm just doing that around the school for like 10 minutes as they're just walking, like, but trying to stay happy, walking that line. I'm just like,
yeah.
We'll see you tonight, right? You're going to be at Chuck E. Cheese tonight? Sounds good. Don't touch him. I'll see you tonight, though. It'll be really fun. It'll be really fun.
None of you understand. If too much happens and the head comes off, this is a horror show.
Because you're just like, is that his skull? And then we went in, and I was like, all right, we're almost done, Chuck. I just got to go in through the after school program if that's cool with you. And he's like, they were like, yeah. And I was like, great. Then we walk in, and that was the worst. Those kids were the worst. It was the closest I'll ever come to being a bodyguard for a celebrity.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, for like the little kids, it was just like, hey, ooh, like gentle hand out. Like, guys, come on, let's no touching. We'll just wave. We'll see you tonight.
Fifth graders like, head top.
Oh, yeah. Do the gritty. And they're just like in his face. And then they were doing other gestures. I was like, that looks, we're just not going to address it. I'm not your teacher. I'm just going to, let's keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just like, the Beatles, like kind of like they're just, and I'm just like, all right, make way, and like none of it was worth it. None of them were like, Chuck E. Cheese, oh my gosh, that's tonight. Like that was the worst. I should have just stopped at the end of the gate there.
Yeah.
As soon as we got outside, like got off the school premises there, I went, oh, that was awful. I apologize. They were great. I mean, Chucky didn't say anything. He's not allowed to. But
right. And you're like trying to convey to the person who's like definitely not going to say anything. So they're like.
But the employee was like, it's all right. This isn't our first school. And I was like, no, I know. But that was I hated that. You have to do more of those today?
Yeah, I know. That's what I think. Like, credit to them for doing it. You know, like credit them for doing it, staying cool the whole time. I mean, they know what they're signing up for. But I think of that often. Like we do like frozen yogurt Fridays. Like at our school, like the kids are often. I think it's like once a month or something like that. But it's like it's Froyo Friday, so we go to this certain frozen yogurt spot, and like every time you go in there, it's like usually it's like it's like from whatever, like I don't know, 1 o'clock until 6 o'clock. You can go like whatever time and say with the school you're with, and they'll like a percentage of what you know.
Mm-hmm. It's a fundraiser.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser, like a little year-long fundraiser that kind of goes every month. Anyway. Yep. Whenever we go, though, it's like you just go right after school. It's like, all right, we can go. Let's go. And, like, the same thing happens like 50 other kids. Mm-hmm. And you go there, and it's like just chaos.
For the employees.
And, like, yeah, I mean, it's just like kids running around in there, yelling, talking to each other, like sitting, dragging chairs up, grouping in. Like, and every time I'm there, I'm looking at these employees, and all I can think is, like, when they get the schedule. And it's like... Oh, I'm working Friday. Son of a... Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, you want to trade shifts with me? Like, I'll give you all my tips. It's like, no, I don't. It's like, no way I'm working Friday. Like, you must see the schedule working Friday. Like, oh my God. There's credit to you if you're working those days.
There's a lot of being an adult or a parent, but really just an adult. I think as a parent, you'll be a little more empathetic, but you'll see, I haven't gotten the dumb dad moment yet.
Oh.
There's something about being a parent or an adult that when you see kids, if you're being objective, it reminds me of the scene from Super Troopers when Farva says to Brian Cox's character, so Brian Cox's character is the chief of police, and he has like a saying he says. And during a scene towards the end of the movie, the mean cop says something to Brian Cox's character, repeats his saying. Yeah. You know, like the dumb is silent as ours. And he's like, the dumb is silent.
Yeah.
And Brian Cox goes, do I sound that dumb when I'm saying it? and just every time I see kids doing stuff that I definitely did as a kid, I'm just like, was I that dumb when I was doing it?
You were.
You were.
We all were.
You were. So that was just like a long walk to my dumb dad moment because like that was just trauma that I unpacked. But then we had restaurant night and my daughter had swim, so we got there late and we got there around like 6:30, 6:45, and then we were just hanging. And then their friends were there, so they were playing. Our kids don't have school on Friday. So it was just like, this is kind of a Friday. This is going to be fun. So they were just like playing around, running around, having fun, and just being kids. Then we started getting like, I've never been at Chuck E. Cheese at last call, but I was this time where they were like, we're closing. And it was very funny because it was like, we're closing in an hour. We're closing 45 minutes. Closing in 15 minutes. And then like, I kept being like, all right, guys, let's start to get going because I was talking to other parents too. And it was also like, it's a school night. It's fine. But it was really funny that the employee goes, all right, everybody, letting you know Chuck E. Cheese is closing in 5 minutes. And I was like, guys, we do have to go. And like now, we got to finish. And they were like on a game. And I was like, we've got to go. Don't continue. When your character dies or whatever, it's over here. Mm-hmm. And then I heard, hey, Chuck E. Cheese fans, we are closing in 4 minutes. I was like, guys, they want us out of here so bad. Now we're going minute by minute. Like, and we weren't the last ones in there. There was a lot of people. Yeah. But it was like, guys, they want us out. They're going by minute. Like, that was so funny to me that they're like 5 minutes. 4 minutes. What do I need to do? I will count down from 60 seconds.
Yeah. It's like when we used to bartend and it's like you close at 2.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of been a night and like 1:50 night, lights on.
Yeah.
Like everybody out of here.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Leave right now.
Yeah.
Leave right now. Go. So, you're gone. Like, get out of here.
So the kids were great. They left easy, like after the fact. Once we were like, because we were being lazy, but we're like, it's whatever. But then it was like, oh, no, they want to clean up and close up. Come on, let's be respectful. Like maybe if we start going, everybody else will go, that kind of thing. Yeah. And we pushed it to 4 minutes. But we left and we got home. And it was just like the kids had a great night. They saw friends like, New Year. So they were seeing friends that they're not in class with now that they were in class with last year. So it was like a nice like reconnection. It was cute. And then we got home and I just like very quickly got angry at them. That's the 180. We just like got home and it's so funny because like I just said the objective thing of like, was I that dumb when I said it? Like there are moments as a adult that I can see a kid and go, yeah, I remember that. I remember being that, wanting that, saying that.
Yeah.
And there's the hardest thing I think as a parent is being objective when the day's almost done.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, they were just like running around and I was like, guys, let's get pajamas on, let's brush our teeth. And then I think they did change, but then they weren't brushing their teeth. I was like, guys, you got to brush your teeth. Let's go. And then they were like running around the house, chasing each other, playing. And then they're like holding the toothbrushes from running and not doing it. And then I raised my voice and then like ruined probably the night. And and it's just like one of those things where like, then my son went to lay, like it wasn't upsetting. He just was like, they were done brushing their teeth. They weren't upset, but they went and like my son laid down with my wife. My daughter went in her room and I was like, you can go lay down with mom if you want for a minute. And she's like, no, it's fine. Did that thing.
Yeah.
Her kids do. They're like, no, it's fine. You kind of ruined everything. I don't want to have a day today. And I was like, okay. I mean, you don't need to like punish mom for me flying off the handle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's fine. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take the dog for a walk. And I like went in the bedroom and I like got the leash because we like stopped letting the dog on the bed. So like we now have him because he'll just jump up the second we're out cold. So
Yeah.
we like leash him next to the bed. And I went and got the leash. My wife's like, "Are you mad?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why?" I was like, "No real reason. Just like this bedtime, it got to me. I'm gonna go for a walk." And I had to like walk it off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me.
Yeah.
I dadded out too hard for a second there.
Yeah, and I saved it. I came back. My son, who is just a like mix between 6 years old and probably got my ADD. Like, I'm yelling and it's white noise. So he was already like sleeping with a smile on his face by the time I came back from my walk.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, I went in her room and we talked for like 20 minutes. Not about that, just about everything in life. And it was just like, all right, we're chill. Man, I got to learn how to not get so... It'd just be nice to... You guys didn't listen for a while. Like, it's just like that. Why do you guys fight the... And this is what you're being old is, but like, why are you fighting the like kind of the most comfy part of the day? Why are you fighting it? It's
we're
like,
all just looking to go to bed. Can't we just go to bed?
And I know it's because we're old and we never get as much sleep as we want. And they don't need sleep. They need 20 minutes a day and they're fine. But it's like, why do you fight this? This is like the best thing. Getting under a blanket. Come on. I can't do it till you do it.
The only reason Daddy's mad is because you're interrupting him getting to his blanket.
But I saved it, I think.
I'm sure it's fine.
They smiled when they saw me this morning. I think we're fine. No, I didn't really. It was like, it was just like that.
They
like,
smile at you, but you did the thing where it's like,
yeah.
you know.
I've never done. You good, bud? How you doing this morning? I've never done the like because I've said so or life's not fair. But I've a couple times. I don't think I did it last night, but it reminded me. I've done it a couple times. Come on, guys, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I know. It's
that
like
one's the worst
to children.
Yeah, come on, guys.
I know. The tone is often when my wife's like, "It's the tone."
Yeah,
like I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm a bad father.
We finally got there.
Wow, why does it feel better to say?
Acknowledging the problem is one of the most important things.
I think that's a good place to leave it.
I think it's a pretty good place to leave it.
Yeah. If you guys got any dumb parent moments, please email us dumbdadpod@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. We're at the Dumb Dads. We're at the Dumb Dads on all platforms, including YouTube, where you can watch full episodes of this podcast.
That's right.
And eventually a live show. So subscribe now. Thanks to @Verdú on SoundCloud for the music and to my wife Annie for editing this podcast. Rate and review this if you haven't already. It helps and goes a long way. Spread the word. Let more parents know about us dumb dads. We're trying our best here. Evan, you got a joke to take us out?
Yeah. Why does coffee usually taste so muddy? It was recently ground. It's a bit of a thinker.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Bit of a thinker. I mean, it's bad, it's dumb, but it's a bit of a thinker.
Sure.
I appreciate in a joke. If you're quick, you'll get it. If you're not quick, you'll
If you're not, listen, on your drive to work tomorrow,
think about it.
You'll smile and breathe through your nose.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?